My name is Joe.
My name is Adrian.
My name is Layla, and this is my twin brother, Tyler.
My name is Maria.
My name is AJ, and today I will be interviewing Keisha Howard, and I'll start with my questions. What got you into gaming?
Completely by accident. I actually didn't like games at first. But when I was little, I didn't really have a lot of people to play with. I didn't have a lot of friends, and I was raised by my grandmother on the south side of Chicago. She didn't want me to go outside because she thought it was going to be a little unsafe. So the only person to play with was my older brother at the time. And so when he played games, especially if it was like Street Fighter or something, back in the day, you did the couch co-op. So you had 2 controllers, and so then I would have to be player 2. So I was always his player 2, and after a while, I was tired of him beating me at Street Fighter because I wasn't like super into it. So one day, he was gone all day, and I practiced and practiced while he was gone, and then when he came back, I messed him up. In the competition and like that idea of practicing and getting better and winning, there was something about that like really made me really enjoy games for myself.
¿Estudiaste algo para ser video gamer?
Is there anything that you studied to be in this field?
Yes, but indirectly. So I went to college for psychology. And so because I have, sort of that background of asking questions, why do we play games? So a lot of times we don't think about like why we play. We just see other people playing, it looks fun, and we join in, or it's really popular, the commercials are just in our faces all the time, so we gotta play it. But there are some fundamental human needs of why we play games. And having a psychology background really has helped me deconstruct that and articulate what some of those things are.
When you were like making your games, like what helped you code them? Who helped you code them?
So I'm more so of a producer, a subject matter expert. I know how the tools work, and I know, generally speaking, how long things take, how hard things are to do. And I talk to different people who like coding, who like art, who do the marketing. There's all these different divisions of games, just like movies, right? You got your actor and your director and your audio. You got to remember your sound effects and the music in the games. So I've been able to do a little bit of all of that because I am more so of a generalist. So there are some people and they are specialists and they specialize in a very specific function of game development. I'm a generalist, so I specialize in knowing a lot about game development comprehensively. So if you want to ask me about sound effects, I know I can tell you what programs you might be able to use. If you want to ask me about art concepts, I know some programs you might be able to use. So I'm more so good with people and understanding the things that they want to do within the video game industry, and then I help them in that way. So that is what I'm more so good at than actually sitting there and coding myself. It's more so deconstructing, like how was this game made? Could I teach somebody to make that same game or go through that same process?
What are the most challenging issues of video game design?
The industry is constantly changing with every bit of emerging technology. Every time we improve processing and graphics, and now just recently AI, then the process of game development changes. In addition to that, it moves so fast. So like the education system has a hard time keeping up and actually getting people prepared to work in the industry. So finding people who are like ready to be in game development is very difficult because it's a self-motivated industry. So you have to like want to do it. You have to want to do your own research. You have to do it yourself. And for a lot of people, that can be a little difficult, especially if you're just starting out and you're just trying to get into the industry. It's like, where do you begin? So especially when the goalpost is constantly moving. So like maybe you might be in school and they might be teaching you game development on one platform, but in industry, they're already, 4 years ahead. So that can make game design really difficult because it moves so incredibly fast.
If you made any money, like how much have you made?
It's interesting because you always have to kind of make your way, you always have to learn, and you have to be in the game development community. So at the height of my career, I made maybe $200,000 in 1 year.
200,000 in 1 year.
In 1 year. But at the low of my career, $0. Negative money. So, it hasn't been consistent, but the opportunity is there, right? Game developers, when they are able to keep their jobs, their salary usually starts off at like 75 grand and up. So, and again, it's not all about code. Sometimes it's about being a producer. Like, can you manage the work that everyone else is supposed to submit? And do you know what challenges that they're having? So you can help them, sort of get all of the processes through that make a game. Somebody might be working on audio programming. Somebody might be working on combat design. Somebody might be working on narrative design and lore. And you have to take all of those pieces and integrate them into one experience. And that has nothing to do with code or nothing, but those people who do that kind of job, they make up to, $125,000 a year. And this is with or without a college degree.
How hard was it to become a video game developer?
Becoming a video game developer is a perspective. So in order to be a game developer, you have to just develop games. And that is hard for people to really conceptualize. So you can become a game developer right now. It's that easy. Now to become a professional game developer or a good game developer can take years of practice.
Can you tell me one recent game you played?
Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, highly recommend it. It's so fun. You're walking through different environments, forests and volcanoes and snow-capped mountains, and you go underground and you go in the sky and there's dragons and animals, and it's so much fun. You can fight, you can cook food, you never played Zelda? No. Highly recommend. And everyone's nice, so you're supposed to, it really encourages kindness. Like when you go into the towns and talk to people are just like, here's a meal, thanks for helping me with that. And like, because you have to help the townspeople with different tasks. And it just leaves you feeling like you did something productive and good.
That sounds like really cool.
It is.
Sounds like Genshin Impact. I played that before.
It's very similar to Genshin Impact.
Who is someone that you looked up to while starting your business?
Aisha Tyler was probably one of the most interesting people to me when I first started, because there wasn't a lot of women, let alone black women, that represented being in the video game industry. And she, for a number of years, used to host the Xbox conference. So, and that was really cool to see her. And she's a gamer, and she's an educated person. She went to Dartmouth. Writer, actress, so many other things, and to see someone like that was that successful, also be interested in games, and also be hosting something like the Xbox sort of conference it was really cool.
What game are you most proud of developing and why?
I like the analog games that we're developing right now. We're going to turn these analog games into video games at some point. But what most people don't know is that video games derive from just pen and paper, imagination. You gotta have your narrative, you gotta have your game mechanics, and a lot of that you can just do without a screen. You could just do on table, piece of paper, pictures, and I really, really love that analog process. So Game Gigs, Project by Alicia, and Axon Punk are the 3 games that we've developed as a community.
That was all my questions.
Thank you so much. Those were excellent questions, and you all are awesome. So I appreciate that.
Thanks for watching. Here at C2ST TV, we have cool science and technology videos for you to watch. Make sure to like and subscribe to show us your support and so that you'll know when the next video comes out.